News 4 Jax starts right now with a breaking news alert.
Taking the stand to tell what she knows about her ex-boyfriend's alleged drug dealing, what she said about the drugs the night Lonzie Barton was reported missing. There will be a final pretrial hearing on Monday morning for Ruben Ebron. He was the caretaker for Lonzie Barton the night he vanished. Ebron's charged with child neglect and lying to police.
Jury selection will begin shortly after that pretrial hearing. Today, the judge denied a defense motion to suppress cell phone evidence taken from Ruben Ebron's phone. Also today, Lana Barton testified about Ebron's alleged drug dealing. She testified that they met in February of 2015 when she was working at Wacko's Gentlemen's Club and knew she could get cocaine from him. She said drug transactions took place in and around the apartment she shared with Ebron while her children were present. She also testified that she sent a text to Ebron July 23rd asking for cocaine when she was at work and said Ebron was watching her kids at the time.
And can you tell us a little bit about the types of narcotics?
Yes.
Okay. Cocaine?
Yes.
Roxicodone?
Yes.
Vicodin?
Yes.
Morphine?
Yes.
Any others?
Possibly some hallucinogenic.
I'm sorry, hallucinogenics?
Yes.
During her testimony, Lana talked about the terms that she said Ebron would use to talk about different drugs with his prospective customers. They include subs, which stands for Suboxone, that's used to treat pain. She also said they'd use the word loud to talk about marijuana and M's to talk about morphine. She also described how a dub stood for $20 worth of cocaine. Ruben Ebron's trial will start as scheduled Monday morning. Channel 4's Chris Parento will be in the courtroom live tweeting. We'll also have updates for you on our website, news4jax.com.
Allegations of inappropriate conduct leading to a shakeup within a small-town fire department. 3 volunteer firefighters, including the chief, are now gone from the Lake Butler Volunteer Fire Department. This comes after 3 female firefighters complained that they were being sexually harassed. It has many in this close-knit town talking, but some said the allegations are just false. Channel 4's Ethan Calloway spent the day looking into the claims.
Well, this definitely does have people talking and taking sides, but no matter which side of this debate you fall on, things have definitely changed here at the fire department, and this is far from over. And McCusker says the first way to do that will be to put all city employees through sensitivity training. I'm told by people on both sides, lawyers are now involved. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you updates. In Union County, Ethan Calloway, Channel 4, the local station.
A Philadelphia police officer is recovering after being shot several times in an ambush late last night. The suspect said he did it in the name of Islam. The officer has been identified as Jesse Harnett. Media outlets in Philadelphia are reporting the suspect, Edward Archer, went to Cairo and Saudi Arabia in 2011 and 2012. The Philadelphia police commissioner said the gun used in the shooting was a stolen police firearm and that the suspect confessed.
The suspect in question is a 30-year-old male from Yadin. He has a Philadelphia address as well, I believe. Has confessed to committing this cowardly act in the name of Islam. According to him, he believed that the police defend laws that are contrary to the teachings of the Quran.
Officer Hartnett underwent surgery for a broken arm.
2 Iraqi refugees who were arrested hundreds of miles away from each other are facing terrorism charges. Federal agents arrested 24-year-old Omar Farah Saeed al-Hardan in Houston last night. The Justice Department says he entered the United States as an Iraqi refugee in 2009, and now he is accused of trying to support ISIS and making false statements to become a U.S. citizen. In California, Oz al-Jahab was arrested. He's facing charges of making false statements involving international terrorism. He came to America as a refugee in 2012.
The world's most wanted drug lord was captured for a 3rd time today. Mexican Marines were involved in a shootout that led to the capture of El Chapo. Mexico's president tweeted, "Mission accomplished." El Chapo has escaped from Mexican prisons in 2001 and 2015. The U.S. Justice Department had no immediate comment on whether it would push to extradite El Chapo to the United States. It's here in the U.S. where he faces charges in multiple jurisdictions across the country.
In election 2016, President Obama is making a big push in an attempt to curb gun violence in America. And while he won't be on the ballot in November, his effort is playing a big role in the race for president. Ryan Nobles has more from Washington. Ryan?
Hey, Tarek, yeah, you know, in the Republican primary especially, this can actually be something of an advantage to these candidates. And President Obama knows it. He even said so last night in the town hall on guns.
We need our guns.
Now, the question is, while it is relatively easy for these candidates to forge a path on guns in their respective party primaries, what happens when we get to the general election? This is a country very divided on the issue of guns, and this issue will be important when voters go to the polls in November. Tarek?
Ryan, there's a Democratic candidate in danger of not making the stage for the next debate. Who is it and why?
Well, it's former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley. And, you know, we've talked a lot about candidates coming on and off the stage in the Republican debates. This is the first time it's been a problem on the Democratic side. O'Malley has had a very hard time cracking the 5% mark in any of the national polls. And that is the metric that he has to meet in order to get into the next debate. Right now, he is right on the edge. If he doesn't make it, there is a chance that he will not be allowed on the debate stage. Of course, at any point, they could change the rules to allow him on. But if he doesn't get into this debate, it will be very difficult for Martin O'Malley. His campaign is struggling, and these debates are basically the only forum he has to gain any ground on Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton.
All right, thank you. Ryan Noble is reporting to us from Washington, D.C. The mother of a teenager who used affluenza as a defense appeared in court.
What she said about the jail accommodations and the judge's response.
All right, tonight we look east. Man, that was a funky-looking little subtropical storm. No, not really. But it did have the appearance. I'll talk about that little gale off the coast and the impact on a weekend forecast in 4 minutes.
But next, Powerball Mania, it is sweeping the entire nation. And look inside the studio where the $800 million winning numbers will be drawn tomorrow night.
Right now, let's take a look at Wall Street. The Dow Jones closed down the last day of this week, 167 points. The Nasdaq down just over 45 points, and the S&P 500 down 21 points.
Remember, you're watching Channel 4, the local station. Live with Joey Purdy, Tarek Miner, the Weather Authority forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Gunn, and sports with Sam Kavaris. News 4 Jax continues.
If you're still planning on buying a Powerball ticket, hello, time's a ticking.
Yeah, the jackpot is at an all-time high. It's expected to be more than $800 million. And as Matt Galka tells us, the historic drawing will be held in Florida's capital city. He takes us inside.
Matt Galka, Channel 4, the local station.
If there is no jackpot winner after Saturday night, the grand prize will roll over again, meaning the next jackpot is expected to be more than $1 billion. There's even a change that the jackpot could get to the point before Saturday night's drawing.
Tracking inconvenient weather where you live, Channel 4 is the Weather Authority.
Are you
Did you
feeling
say
lucky?
$1 billion?
With a capital B. Capital.
B.
Yeah, there are a lot of pools going around, too.
Really? Is there any local pools you know about?
I don't know, but if you know, let me know.
We got our Channel 4 pool.
Well, I'm not in on it.
You're not?
No.
Well, Tarek and
That's what
I'll be in
happens when you come in
Aruba.
so late.
We'll take you out
in
to
the
dinner
day.
or something if
Oh,
we win.
whatever.
Exactly.
You just let me off a
Name
cool
of the
meal. I'll be
place.
good.
Cool meal.
Speaking of cool,
Really?
Yeah, it's a little cool
At
outside.
that point, that'd be pocket change.
Pocket change. I don't know about that.
Oh.
Next week, it will be January in the heart of it, and temperatures will be flirting with freezing every morning. It's up to about 10 degrees below normal.
all right, thanks, John. An appeals judge overturns a ruling involving an officer charged in the Freddie Gray case.
What the officer won't have to do for now in other cases involving Gray's death.
Here's this week's ViStar All-Star Athlete.
Here is this week's ViStar All-Star athlete. Alyssa Quixley is being recognized for outstanding achievement in athletics, academics, community service. She's on the basketball, cross country, and track and field teams at St. Augustine High School. Alyssa is in the National Honor Society, in the AICE Cambridge Diploma Program, and she's the sports editor for the school newspaper. She volunteers with youth sports camp at St. Paul's Church and with Link Crew, mentoring freshman students. Alyssa currently has a 4.3 GPA. Watch Alyssa's interview with sports director Sam Kavaris tomorrow during the 7 a.m. hour of the morning show and Sunday during the 10 o'clock news.
Around America this evening, a Maryland appeals court judge ruled that a Baltimore police officer does not need to testify in the trial against another officer charged in Freddie Gray's death.
Under the ruling, Officer William Porter will not need to testify, at least for now, in Officer Caesar Goodson Jr.'s trial. Those two officers, as well as 4 others, have been charged in the April 2015 death of Gray. He suffered a fatal neck injury after being shackled without a seatbelt in the back of a police van. Porter was the first of the 6 city police officers to stand trial. His trial ended in a mistrial last month. His retrial is scheduled for June.
Tanya Crouch, the mother of a Texas teenager who used affluenza as a drunk driving defense, was in court herself this morning. Couch complained to the judge about her accommodations in jail. The judge replied, "Well, this is jail. It's not a resort." Couch did not enter a plea at her arraignment. If convicted, she could face 10 years in prison for aiding her son after he was suspected of violating a plea deal that kept him out of prison.
New court documents show reviled pharma executive Martin Shkreli used a $45 million E-Trade account to secure bail after his arrest on federal securities fraud and conspiracy charges. Shkreli, best known for hiking the price of a life-saving drug by more than 5,000% as CEO of Turing Pharmaceuticals. He was indicted in December on criminal charges, accused of bilking another company, Retrofin, out of millions of dollars. Shkreli has maintained his innocence, arguing he's been targeted by federal authorities because of that drug price hike.
Are you ready for some football? The NFL playoffs begin. You're ready.
Hey.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
That's it.
Tom Brady's team has a bye this weekend, but you can own some unmentionables worn by the star when a unique auction will take place.
A chance to own some uniquely private movie memorabilia with one auction.
That's a nice way of putting it. The underwear that Tom Brady wore in the movie Ted 2 about to hit the auction. The light gray Armani t-shirt and Brooks Brothers boxers will be sold next week by Golden Auctions. The opening bid, $2,500, but if you want the same outfit, the boxers sell in stores for $25. The shirt a little more expensive, $360.
No, thank you.
know?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
See you at 10 o'clock.